I was trying to get my mic configured, but full disclosure, it is from the, what is it, Five Below? Because, I don't know, I just thought it would be fun to play with, and it's really poor quality, but also it requires to be charged for like a super long time, and I'm just like always on the go and just never think of it. So I just want you to know that I did think of it, and then I didn't think of it. I thought it would be great to use my mic, and then I was like, oh, I have to charge it. I'm just hearing this song. It's like, can't help the way that I feel. No, I can't help the way that I feel. It's kind of out of tune, sorry. But it's from, I looked it up. It is often on the radio. It's from 1983, Evelyn King. 1983, Evelyn King. Let's see, that adds up to 10, 18, 19, 20, 21. That adds up to 3. So 3 is a number about creativity. It's a number about fertility. And also, as I've said before, the joyful, creative, playful child, artistic child relating to Jupiter, which some people may not link it to. It's also about communication. There may just be like a need to focus on creative things right now. You know, I am an artist, and I remember being a kid, and really anything I was going through, art was where I turned to express myself. And it's really been my saving grace in my life. So that's why I'm being called to share this with you. There's something inside of you that needs to be expressed. And it's, you know, yeah, go ahead and put it out there, put it on the internet. But it's not about the response. It's not about getting a million likes or getting invited to some big art show. It's about getting that out of your system and feeling accomplished after that you've transmuted something painful into something beautiful. I'm sorry about my bra, but I'm just gonna tell you that I'm an active person, so I like tank tops in the summer. It's still pretty hot, and I hate the no strap bras because they don't give any support. So I'm just gonna be raunchy. I'm sorry. I have a list here, but I also wanted to do some cards. I have my Kim Krantz and I have my tarot cards. Let's get a little Kim Krantz because I haven't done that for a while. She's a great tarot card illustrator. I think she's kind of nomadic too. I think she's lived a lot of places. So for some reason I'm focusing on that. Remember at one point she was living in Portland in this like geodome. It was like a, I don't know, like a futuristic dome shaped house. This is making me think of the movie Biodome with Pauly Shore. Have you guys seen that? It's from when I was a kid. It's like, it's really stupid, but I think I'm thinking of the stoner archetype. Okay, here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking maybe you're somebody who's anxious and has anxiety and has at times tried anxiety meds or tried weed or tried closing yourself off. Like in Biodome, they can't leave for a number of months because of some experiment they're doing. I'm also thinking social experiment. So at a certain point, what I was gonna say is those crushes, it feels like they don't work anymore. Like you're like, sure, I'll have a joint, but it doesn't really do anything at this point because you've had to learn to master your anxiety in new ways because you've had a lot of anxiety in the past year. I'm feeling a lot of stuff in my gut system. Somebody may just need to like focus on their gut. I was reading about how when you have your period, if you're a woman, the hormones cause digestion to slow, and that's why you may have like painful stomach stuff going on when you have your period. So I don't know, I'm just maybe tuning into some collective stuff that maybe there's just something about slowing down, because it's like you're not gonna do well pushing yourself to do something. And I'm getting a little channeling coming in. I'm getting some guides. I know I sound so woo-woo when I say that, but I think I'm trying to exemplify with this channel that it may seem like you're disconnected from God or spirit or energy, angels, law of attraction, source, however you want to call it, the universe, but it's actually right at your fingertips. And that's kind of what I'm talking. The connection is happening in an immediate time. You're being guided all the time, is what your guides are saying. A song is coming on the radio, and you're like, oh, that makes me think of my grandmother. That's your grandmother coming through to say hi. You see someone's name. It's like a relative that's passed on. It's like you see the show. Like maybe there's a play in the area, and they're putting on a play that's the title of your relative's name. That's your relative reaching out. That's not no one. So I just want to like let you know that you have a lot of protection and guidance, and you no matter how much you F up your life, I'm hearing, or not that you've effed it up, but you've been in circumstances where you feel like you've effed up, I'm hearing from your guides. The more that you realize, you know, you are protected, the safer you're going to feel. It doesn't mean you're impervious to like, you can go just do whatever you want, you know, do horrible things. No, it's like because spirit or your guides see that you have good intention in life. You know, I'm hearing do no harm. So maybe you're like a Buddhist, or like somebody who follows like sort of moral, you have like a moral distinction in terms of how you behave that I feel like other people around you don't have. We got the mask reversed and the mountain. Something here about like feeling unmasked, feeling like, actually I'm seeing this in a good way for you, that I feel like you were wearing a mask for a lot of your life, and now you're like, well, it's about time to take that mask off because it's getting hot and sweaty in here. I'm also seeing we have the mountain. So this is about, I want to read it here in this reading as strength. I'm hearing some sayings about mountains, and it's almost like I heard a river runs through it. I think that's a movie or a book. Oh, I'm hearing Alan Patton, Go Tell It on the Mountain, maybe? I think it's about, he wrote about South Africa, I think. I don't think I've read that book, but I had that book. There's something that peace like a river, peace like a river. I got peace like a river, I got peace like a river. Peace like a river, I got peace. I got peace like a river, I got peace like a river. Okay, sorry, my vibration's a little raised now. That's an old spiritual song. There may be like some guides coming through who are like people like who were like really religious. Somebody's coming through who's like, it's not a Catholic, I'll say that. It's somebody who's like one of the Protestant, or even the even it could be like a Mormon. What is that? They're called like, I think it's like Resurrectionist or something like that. They have like a different label. They're not Protestants, Mormons. Reformation? I don't know. That word is coming up, Reformation. I feel like the guide coming through that is spiritual from your past, maybe they were like Pentecostal, Methodist, or just something like, it's like something very like, I'm just seeing them like in front of a preacher, and they're like very involved in the church and the community. I'm getting a female energy and also a male energy. Somebody who, I'm seeing eyeglasses. I'm hearing huff and puff. This person maybe they liked to watch movies like I'm hearing Gryffindor, like Harry Potter, or maybe this older male person was like sort of a shapeshifter in some ways. I don't know if that's actually in Harry Potter stories, the shapeshifter. Now I'm thinking of that Stephen King novella, or it became a show, and it was about shapeshifters. I think it was called The Stranger, maybe? I don't know, something. Now I'm thinking of Camus, The Stranger. I feel like you've been reading. Somebody's been reading. You've been like, hey, I want to know more about this or that. Because I feel like the educational system you grew up in, your guides, maybe your grandparents, is this some older people? They are saying that you weren't like, you weren't understood in school, and you were like above and beyond, even the teachers, but then you still didn't get like educated in the way you would like, because at school you felt whatever. As a former teacher, I want to say that's not your fault. And it's like, it brought you peace like a river, and it's bringing you peace like a river, to stand on your own, to be strong like a mountain. Mountains can't be moved. I'm hearing come hell or high water. I'm sorry, this is a little bit of a schizophrenic reading, but I am now hearing, ain't no mountain high, ain't no valley low, ain't no river wide enough, baby. If you need me, call me. No matter where you are, no matter how far. Don't worry, baby, just call my name. I'll be there in a hurry. You don't have to worry, 'cause baby, there ain't no mountain high enough. Ain't no valley low enough. Ain't no river wide enough to keep me from getting to you, babe. Okay, I was gonna keep going, but I was like, is that enough? I kept being like, I don't want to sing this whole song, but the guides, the older couple, was like, no, we want the whole song. These may be like guides who, they may not be your grandparents, they may be just elders who are like, you know, ancestors from down the line, earlier, like great grandparents, or it could be uncle and aunt. But they're somehow united, and they're like definitely in this reading. I'm also thinking New Mexico, which has come up in my readings before. I don't know if you went to New Mexico with these people. I'm seeing grass. I'm seeing I'm hearing grassy knoll. I feel like these people maybe taught you about leisure, just to take that time to unwind. And I'm hearing, don't let someone live rent-free in your head. It's like these, it's also like just these wise elders that are coming, that, you know, they may not be someone you've known, but it could be. They're saying like, you know, don't obliterate, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. And now I'm pretty unconscious in this reading, like I'm not thinking of what I'm saying, I'm just letting what comes through come through. I'm trying to channel. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Now there's another guide coming through, somebody who's like, this is like a younger person, this is like somebody in their maybe 30s or late 20s, and I'm seeing like a female with long hair, Caucasian, and she's like really unique. She's really unique. I don't know if this is somebody you knew. This could be like, again, this could just be an ancestor or just a random guide, but she's saying like, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Maybe you have been pregnant, or like tried, you know, you were trying to have a baby and then it didn't work out and you're giving up, or you had a miscarriage, but Spirit is saying like, try again, try again. I mean, if you're being advised by Spirit or by a doctor that you medically cannot, there may be another way to get that child. Adoption, you know, even being a foster parent can be so rewarding for so many people, and there's such a need for like for a stable home for so many youths. I'm gonna get a little more from this female guide that's coming through. I'm seeing like earrings, or like nose, or like maybe she had like a interesting nose. I was gonna say nose piercing, but she said no. I'm seeing like something about her nose though. So I don't know if she had like a unique nose, or like she had a nose issue, this woman. Maybe allergies. I'm also seeing like golden hoops, maybe like hoop earrings. I'm seeing long brown hair, and I'm seeing her in a field of flowers. I'm hearing about the Fae. That's something from my grandmother now. My grandmother's coming through a little bit. So I don't know if, first of all, there may just be like somebody with the Mountain High Enough song from the other side they're just like watching every move, and they've got you, and you got to know that protection's there. I know it seems in our day-to-day lives that we're just flailing, you know, but that's not true. Nothing is accidental. Absolutely nothing is what the female guide is saying. I'm seeing some sort of hand like darning socks, or some sort of like crafting activity that this woman did. And she's telling you that not throwing the baby out with the bathwater is also like, don't obliterate yourself, is what I heard. Don't, you know, there's things for the keeping here, you know. Don't, if something didn't work out, don't just say I give up on my life. If something negative is happening, don't just say, well, forget that. It's kind of a little bit of a reading about stick-to-itiveness, or perseverance, or dedication. So that just may be important. That may just be a situation where you're like, I give up, and it's like, don't give up. Don't give up. Just try to think of new ways. And the baby with the bathwater could also just be like the inner child, you know, honoring the inner. I like to start every morning ideally asking what the inner child wants, and usually it's just like a slow, relaxing morning. And then as the day goes on, I become more and more adult. I'm seeing a sundial. There's something about like time. I'm hearing time immemorial. Now I'm seeing, they're showing me a lot of imagery today. I'm seeing some more guides coming through, and there's like a Navajo dance, like, this could be also just the Plains Indians, or I'm in an area where there were like Algonquin Indians. I'm near where the Siwanoy people were, which means people of the salt water. But I was gonna say, but Navajo came first. I think that's a different part of the country. But I'm seeing like a powwow. This could be some past life stuff for you. This is a vision that I used to have, actually, and it's coming through right now, so I'm gonna share it with you. I used to have this vision in a dream also, that I was like 14 years old, but I was a Native American woman, like in olden days, teepee times, like before like modern civilization, and I'm being given like an herb to heal me in like a peace pipe, like celebration in a teepee in a circle. But then I die from the herbs because I have an allergic reaction. It's been like a dream I've had, and also just a vision I've had during meditation, which could just be the dream being like, remember this dream? Yeah, so I know that sounds scary, but at the time it was the pandemic when this started happening. This dream happened, and I was simultaneously having dreams about people, Native American peoples on the Amazon, creating a shield of protection. So that made me feel like it's okay that this is coming through. Oh, now I'm having a guide come through from a long time ago. Okay, you're gonna think I'm crazy, but I have one guide who, from that period, actually from the pandemic, who was a Dutch settler. And I know that sounds really crazy, but I started having these like synchronicities where I was like suddenly interested in learning about the Dutch settlements of Norwalk this is like years ago during the pandemic when I was living in Norwalk, and where I am actually right now. But anyway, I lived somewhere else in between then. You could have like hopped around with your timeline with like where you lived. Okay, and anyway, so this guide that's coming through, he's Dutch, and I had read that there was a Dutch fort right near my house, actually, where I was living. They had found like river, like sediment that had like pots and like trade items. So they did this research and realized there was like a fort that was now like underground, obviously, but they found in Norwalk, and they found like, it was a Dutch settlement. They found like dead dogs, deceased people, like it was, they also found like knives and anyway pots, and it was like a place of trade, like a hut where the Native Americans would trade. It's just like coming through. And then anyway, as I was learning about that, I kept having synchronicities where places I would hike or things I saw would have to do with this history, and I'm like attracting it. And then I started getting this is how guides work, if you want to know. Then I started getting these like impulses, like I'm feeling scared because of the pandemic, I'm gonna go for a run. And I felt the guide with me. So I'm telling you about these guides, so that you can know what it's like, that it's not scary to have guides. It doesn't mean you're schizophrenic. You know, I've been checked for schizophrenia. We all have guides, and sometimes they make themselves known with specific details that come up in different ways. Like, it was weird because I was like reading about King Philip and the King Philip's War, and then I went to this like plaque about King Philip. This is another guide I have. King Philip was a Native American war not warmonger. He was a leader in the Indian Wars. I think it was around the 1500s when the Dutch came. And I'm thinking of King Philip's Rock now, which is, I think, in Massachusetts. I haven't been there, but it's sort of like where he would go to have some thoughts of clarity during wartime. I'm thinking of the word Machamuks, which is a Native American word that means land, beautiful land. Anyway, but you are in the same kind of place. This is why my guides have like led me down this pathway. And by the way, the vision about the berries and dying from the herbs, I think it has to do with some health issues that I have, that I've always been really allergic. And maybe I did have some past life where I was like, I was like even more sensitive, and things were really toxic to me that weren't toxic to others. So that's what that showed me, because I'm the kind of person who, like, if I get chemicals, like, let's see, 10 years ago I was a waitress and I got chemicals from the dishwashing detergent on my arm, and I had a systemic reaction where my whole body got hives. So that's how I am in my life. I'm also allergic to my own hair because I have alopecia. But I'm bringing this stuff up because I feel like the guides here are saying, like, you're allergic to some situation, and you had to go on your own version of King Philip's Rock to get away from battle. You had to, like, go and clear your head and find higher ground. And the song in the beginning that was like, I can't help the way that I feel. No, I can't help the way that I feel. It's just like, you can't help how you feel. Like, you may be in an environment where people are like, you shouldn't feel that way. I'm hearing you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't express yourself. You shouldn't be sad. You shouldn't be happy. And it's like, no, like, just let the feelings roll, because suppression and repression is where people get stuck and where people get sick. And now you may think, oh, well then, you know, why do you have alopecia if you're so perfect? I'm not, is the answer. I'm not saying that I did anything emotionally that caused my alopecia. It's a genetic disease, but I'm just saying there's a connection here between your feelings of worthiness, I'm hearing your guides saying, and what's happening right now. You need to just spend some time being like, I don't need to try hard. I allow what comes to me. Sorry, this has been a very, like, psychic heavy reading. We got 10 of Cups. I feel like your guides that are coming through are telling me, in terms of King Philip's Rock, now I'm seeing King Philip's having a war meeting on top of King Philip's Rock, and he's telling people basically what to do. And he did win some battles, but he lost the war. Maybe you feel that way, where you're like, because obviously the Native Americans were overtaken by Caucasian people. You feel like I'm hearing, what's the point? But also, like, little fires everywhere. Is that a show? Maybe I think that may be a show on Hulu or something, but I've never watched it. But yeah, I feel now, is Reese Witherspoon in that show? I'm sorry, these guys are being ridiculous, because, like, I'm seeing her being arrested, which she really was arrested in real life for drunk driving. She got a DUI, and then obviously did tons of, like, PR to just be like, don't think about that. I think that's coming up because your guides and King Philip maybe actually come through this reading. Again, he's a Native American leader from the Indian Wars. Is saying, like, you have always known how to be, you have always known that removing yourself from the battle is the smartest thing to do. Remove yourself from the negative situation, because that's how you're going to get to the happy family, the 10 of Cups. That's how you're going to, and that could just be a happy family with you and your animal. It doesn't have to be a big group. It's like happy family, contentment, and the 10 is ending. Unfortunately, something is ending, and you're in a rest period. I'm hearing crisscross applesauce. There's another, that female guide is coming back, and she's saying, like, you need to, she's like really serious. She's got like a clipboard, and like, she just put her hair up. This female guide, she's different. I don't know if this is someone you knew. I'm also seeing Fruit Loops, and I'm seeing, like, the number 7. Maybe she was born on the 7th or 7th month. Maybe she died at 7 o'clock. I don't know. Maybe you knew this person for 7 years. It also could be a friend from age 7, like maybe a childhood friend that passed on, and this is what they would be like at this age. I don't know. But she has a clipboard, and she, like, put her hair up, and she's like, you gotta get down to business. You gotta get down to business. And it's like, interesting. Down to business. I think that, I'm asking what that means. I think that she's furiously writing now, this guide. I think you're a writer, whoever this is. And, you know, getting your work out there is part of the self-expression process. doesn't have to be that you become some famous writer. It's like putting it out there for the sake of being heard, being seen, being known in the world. Could be important. Knight of Wands. This is Sagittarius energy, upright. It's a positive omen, let's say. I just feel like there's excitement coming back, feeling like your blood is circulating. I'm feeling like some of the fire, somebody here has got like some fire in the chart. Yeah, you had to recharge on top of some mountain, guided by your guides. Take some time out so that you could look down upon these people. I'm hearing these plebeians. Is that a word? So you could feel a little bit better. I'm thinking of Bruegel and his paintings. He's a painter, and his paintings of like let's see, it's like townspeople. It's like a big scene of like sort of similar to Bosch. If you've ever seen Hieronymus Bosch, that's coming through. Those paintings are amazing. They're about like Garden of Eden, or maybe just like the Garden of Heaven, maybe. I don't know. There's these famous doors that Bosch did. Anyway, so those two artists might just be interesting to look up. I'm thinking about, in terms of Bruegel would sort of do a repetition of the same sort of thing over and over, but like creating a bigger shape with a smaller thing. So it's like he puts all these townspeople, but they're all organized in this like one uniform shape that like looks good visually. Kind of Hieronymus Bosch kind of worked similarly. I forget what those doors are called. Is it I don't know. Now I'm thinking about Paradise Lost. Have you ever read John Milton, Paradise Lost? I read that in college. It was like, it's just about getting kicked out of heaven. Maybe you felt that way in some dynamic where, but I was going to say with the small and the big and the big and the small that's in those paintings, it's like you've had to like bring something down to size. You've had to be like, okay, I can't let this take over my life. I got to like realize there's still good things. You had to like put it in perspective, because with the Paradise Lost mention, I'm also hearing Beelzebub, which is a word for, there's a lot of like names for the devil in there, and one of them is Beelzebub, or demons of the devil. It's like you felt like somebody kicked you out of paradise, or somebody was like kicked you out of your own life. Ooh, that's dark. And the female guide that came through before is saying like, have Adam. She's also saying like, don't think this person has power. They have no power. The female guide is showing me this person who did this to you in a room by themselves, and they don't like do anything. They're not ashamed of their behavior, but they're like in a dark place where they can only spew bad things to people. And then the reality is they sometimes just sleep all day because they're so depressed, or they don't go anywhere, or they're very isolated. So that's just for you to see. Dirty Dancing. Nobody puts baby in the corner. That could just be a dynamic. Have you seen Dirty Dancing? It's a great movie with Patrick Swayze and Jennifer Grey, and it's just like she's rich and he's not, and they fall in love and they do dancing together because she's bored in the summer. She's at this like camp with her parents, and then at the end, the dad's kind of like, I don't know, a dick, and then Patrick Swayze is like, nobody puts baby in the corner, because her name is Baby, which is weird. And then they do this dancing thing, and then he like lifts her up, and it's like great. I'm mentioning that. I think I'm mentioning that not because of Dirty Dancing. I'm mentioning it because Jennifer Grey, she had a very distinctive nose, and then she like got plastic surgery and no one recognized her. It's like there's something here like with you like that, where like there's something very distinctive, and like you may like hate this feature, but it kind of makes you. And it's also like you could change it. There's some things we can't change. Like I can't change my nose. I can't change like that my clavicles are like this, but I could change some things. I could dye my eyebrows blue if I wanted. I'm just saying, don't change. It's kind of like the don't throw the baby out with the bathwater thing that we got from your guide. Like, don't throw out something beautiful about you that maybe isn't, you think that it's not worthwhile, or there's no point. And it doesn't have to be a physical feature. It's not like, okay, say you have like some painful, maybe you have like a cyst, or maybe you have like a birthmark and you're like, I want to get rid of that. Go ahead, get rid of it. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying like keep the thing. I keep having to pause because I keep having to make space on my phone, but it's okay because I think that's the natural timing of the reading. I wrote Elizabeth Bishop, The Art of Losing. It's a poem. I'll just say the beginning. It's like, the art of losing is not hard to master. Lose something one day, lose even faster. I could be wrong. That's sort of the scope of it. Yeah. There's something that you lost, maybe a physical item, and it's like, it's also making you feel like, I'm hearing losing my marbles. But sometimes things that we lose along the way of life, I'm being called to say, it's like, it's being taken because we didn't really need it anyway, okay? It's like, Spirit was like, they don't need this. It's just holding them down. There's some things I wrote here that I'm not going to write. I wrote the Golden Gate Bridge. Is that just a place of import, or something happened at the Golden Gate Bridge? I wrote polyester fabric. I don't know if it's just like a fabric you wear, but also polyester fabric is made by like combining a bunch of like reusable things and making it into this kind of not breathable fabric. I feel like you've been in a situation where you were like, I can't breathe in this situation, and I'm just seeing somebody at the store and they're like, all the clothes are made of fabric, everything's, I mean polyester, all the fabric is polyester, I can't like wear this, I can't like live this way. And it's sort of like the clothes are a metaphor for like the options that were available at the time. And now I'm almost seeing you making your own clothes out of different fabrics. And that's symbolic for you making a fresh start in your life. You know, there used to be a program called Dress for Success where they would help women who were in need get, you know, looking to look good for job interviews. That just could be coming up. You may be like involved in charity work. I wrote, I'm not going to do everything. Lunar eclipse in Pisces opposite Sun in Virgo on August 28th. So it's just an interesting energy. It's about endings. It's about maybe seeing through illusions, is always what I say with Pisces or Neptune in most moon situations, especially if there's a square, but there's no square here. But the opposition to Virgo, it could just be like, I mean, to the Sun in Virgo. So the Sun is our ego, right? And so if the Sun's in Virgo, it's almost like the collective becomes very task-oriented, health-focused, or like maybe like morbidly obsessed with details, numbers, writing what to-do lists, communicating about what needs to be done. Structure is Virgo, right? This is the season we're going into. So the Sun will be in Virgo, and the Moon will be eclipsing in Pisces. So Sun opposite Moon, it's sort of like mom and dad not getting along, okay? It's the energies, but also it's internal within you. It's like some ego thought that you were like, it's going to be this way, is now being replaced by the internal heart thought of, it has to be this way. You don't see, it's got to be this way. The illusion could also be like somebody that you were like hating, now you just feel like bad for them. Or something that I'm also hearing about money, because Virgo can be about digits. Those Virgos, they like their money. I mean, not that Scorpios don't, I'm a Scorpio, but Virgo rules jobs. So it could be also disillusionment about a job or a work situation. But the Pisces sign, and again, the moon is eclipsing on Pisces, is about death, is about, in a different way than Scorpio, it's about finality, moving on. Scorpio is about the rebirth. It's like, what's next? And of course, Aries comes after Pisces. So, and Pisces is a sign about reincarnation. And really, if we think of the karmic wheel of the zodiac, I'm channeling some Linda Goodman here. She's come through before. The psychic zodiac wheel, she's saying, we go through all these incarnations, all these lives. So I'm a Scorpio, that means I've been through Libra, I've been through Virgo, I've been through all of them. my soul's been through all these different incarnations. A Pisces has been through all of the signs in different lives and reincarnated as an Aries and a whatever. And they really know, like, they're like, it's a wise sign. It's a little bit of a detached sign also. And they're very mentally sharp, but you may not know it. It's the hippie sign, but it's like Pisces, a word that comes to mind is annihilation with the swimming fish. So just let what is being annihilated be annihilated. And the swimming fish, the two fish which represent Pisces, you know, one's life and one's death. One's birth and one's death. One's feeling and one's thinking. It's similar to Gemini, the sign. It is dualistic. It's like, how can this be true and that be true? And also, like, sometimes decisions are made for us by the universe that we don't have control. And Pisces is really about teaching us about lack of control. I think I've talked before, my South Node is in Virgo and my Sun is in Pisces. My Sun is in Scorpio. My North Node is in Pisces. So that means past life experiences and also like early life in this life experiences having to do with being over worried, like mentally focused. Very true. I skipped a grade in grade school. I had masters by the time I was 23. Very worried and having health issues, which is true for me in my youth, to moving forward to the North Node in Pisces, which is about getting out of the head and into the body. So that's a polarity that's coming up here with this eclipse. It's okay, mind, ego in Virgo is telling us, Sun in Virgo is telling us, do you have your to-do list? Have you done everything on the to-do list? You're not doing number 7A. You didn't do 7A today. And then the Pisces eclipse is like, we don't have to do 7A anymore because, you know, things have changed and 7A is not on the list anymore. And a lot of the things on this list don't make sense anymore. Yeah, so that's just an intense energy that's coming through. I wrote For You, My Little Bunny, which is from The Runaway Bunny, which is a book that I used to read when I was a kid. That's just maybe like some sort of beautiful sentiment that you want to think about. Maybe somebody who misses you, or they feel like terms of endearment towards you. And, ooh, oh my gosh. Okay, so yeah, definitely an energy of like some negative backstabbing, betrayal, and a release that caused, an ending that caused a release. I'm seeing you jump into water. You, not any of your guides, just you. I'm seeing you do a cannonball. And I can't see your face, I just see a person jumping into cannonball, cannonball, cannonball. I don't know if some of these, again, just more war imagery, I guess, coming through. You feel like you've been in a war. We got 7 of Pentacles. You feel like you're just like looking for your garden to grow, and it's maybe like taking a long time, but you had to realize that you couldn't go back. You couldn't, this card reversed, 6 of Swords reversed, it can be about trying to return, but you were like, I can't go back. I can't return to these old ways or this old situation. And now you may be in a little bit of a stalemate with the 2 of Swords. You may be like, all right, well, now what, universe? And let's just get a closing thought here from Spirit. Ooh, the Tower. So this feels like a negative card, but it's also like everything has to be torn down for you to see clearly.